Do Muslims believe in Jesus?
Have you ever heard of the term halal?
What do you believe happens after you die?
You notice that some Muslim women cover. Do you know why this is?
So do you believe in God?
Who do Muslims worship?
What's the Muslim holy book called?
Do you think Islam has something to learn from other communities around the world?
Do you believe in God?
Do you believe in God?
Do you believe in God?
No.
I like to believe in a God.
I'm agnostic myself.
I believe in something, but I'm not sure whether it's God or not.
I think there's something up there, not God. I don't think it's a label. I think there's like a bit of some kind of supernatural force in power, like puts the world in balance.
I'm an atheist personally, but I don't think there's anything wrong with believing in God.
Why don't you believe in God?
I just don't.
I prefer to live this life rather than focus on things. I'd rather just... I don't really believe that I should be focusing on...
Yeah, I kind of think like the whole idea of God is something so complicated. I don't kind of think human rationality is enough to get there. So it might be there and it might not, but I don't think I'm clever enough to understand it.
I believe in science more than religion, personally. And I find, I'm someone who has to have tangible evidence of something to believe in, something before.
I don't know, for me it's just there's so much pain in the world that I just don't understand why God would let that happen, just personally.
Why do you believe in God?
Because I'm a Christian.
Because it gives you hope, it comforts me, and I guess they're the two biggest things, hope and comfort.
Because it's what I've been brought up to believe. I think he's there. I like to think there's a heaven. Gives me hope.
Something inside me just has this overwhelming sense that there is something more into life than what you just see as a solid reality, that there is something more. And for me, the only way I can understand that is to understand him as God.
What do you believe is the purpose of life? What do you think is the purpose of life?
What's the purpose of our life?
Again, I don't know. I don't want to think about that kind of thing because I feel like it slows. I don't know. I think it's just. I don't think you should think about it.
Wow. I do not know if I can answer that. Maybe to be happy, to have a good time, and make sure everyone's happy. Make sure we're all happy.
Yeah, I think there is. I think it's to lead a good life, and whatever that means to you, it'll be different to every person. So it's something you have to look in yourself for and find out what life means to you personally.
At the moment, to get a good education, I haven't got that far, I'm afraid.
Eat, live, and have lots of sex.
Probably to procreate. I think, we need to keep life going, and eventually, it's true. Eventually we're going to get wiped out, so just keep the population going, really.
Do you know what happens after death, or do you think anything happens after death?
And what do you think happens after death? I mean, we've come from somewhere. Where do you think we'll go?
Well, I like to think that there is a nice little place where we can go and everyone is happy, everyone's equal, there's no real troubles in the world and everyone loves each other. That's where I like to think we're going to go.
I think we just decompose and life goes on. For the world just continues, life just continues and then ends.
Yeah, I like the idea of reincarnation. I don't know if I actually believe it or if I just want to, but I like the idea that we're all just little atoms of carbon floating around and that one day I'm going to be a tree. I really want to be a tree.
I'd like to believe in some form of afterlife, but I'm not sure, I'm afraid.
I think there's a parallel universe where all the spirits go. That's why spirits get trapped here, because they haven't quite made it and fulfilled some stuff, and then you go off to the parallel universe where all the ghosts are.
I like to think that we go to heaven or hell.
I believe we either go to heaven or hell, depending on if we have accepted Jesus as our saviour.
Yeah, you either go to heaven or hell, depending on what you choose to believe.
I think there must be something. I mean, we can't just disappear, or I hope we don't, but I don't know.
Do you know who Muslims worship?
Do you know who Muslims worship?
Allah.
Wow. I want to say Allah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right. I feel like it's a trick question or something.
Allah? Is that right?
Allah.
Okay.
Allah.
Do you think the Muslims believe in Jesus?
No. I think they believe he's a prophet, but he wasn't like the only one, because there were other ones.
No. Or maybe is it Muslims that believe he existed, but they don't think that he was like the Son of God?
Okay.
So am I wrong?
That's your opinion, that's fine.
I don't know.
No, they don't, do they? Believe in Allah.
Do you know what the Muslim holy book is called?
Quran.
The Quran.
The Quran.
The Torah.
Do you know how some of the Muslim women cover? Why do you think that is?
I guess a half choice and half because it's tradition. Is it sort of like a respectful kind of thing, keeping yourself covered out of just like respecting it's like your own body kind of thing?
And assuming sovereignty of your religious laws.
Is it like they're trying to be like respectful and modest and I don't know. What was the question? Is it so they're not looked at like they're objects, like they're people, they're not just
To hide their bodies.
Because you don't want to be seen as sexual items, isn't it?
And do you think it's oppressive for them to cover?
I think it's an element of it, but if they choose to, then that's their choice. I don't think so for the head. I think covering the face is a little bit oppressive just because like your face is your identity kind of thing, and if that gets covered then you're kind of hidden from the world, but it's every woman's choice. If she wants to do that, then that's good.
A little bit, yeah, but I think like when you have like just the eyes showing, I think that's a little bit too much, but just the headscarf's fine.
I don't know. I think you should do what you want. Like if you want to do it, then do it. Like.
So what do you make of the hijab ban in France?
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
I think it's probably because the governments believe that maybe they're being forced to cover their hair, and whether or not it's a choice by their own will, or whether someone else is making them do it.
I think, some people are just like a bit... Everyone's got their own opinions and you can't do nothing about it and stop the people in power doing what they're doing. So, you just got to go with the flow. Don't get angry about it, don't get upset about it, just carry on living your life.
To be honest, there was that air hostess who wasn't allowed to wear her crucifix. I don't actually have mine on today, but I normally wear one, and so I think that you should totally be allowed to express your religion, totally be allowed to express your faith. I think I don't agree with it. I think that if it's your faith, obviously, if it's for security reasons, I'm guessing that's what they're saying it is. I'm sure you could lift it in the situation where that's needed. I think in general, you should totally 100% be allowed to express any religion.
Do you think Islam has anything to learn from other communities around the world?
I don't know. I think it's quite like a set religion, so I don't know if it has something to learn. I think I don't think learn. I think it's a set thing, isn't it? So I don't think you can really learn from things. It's a set religion, so.
Anything that Islam has to learn from other communities around the world, then the other communities around the world also has to learn from Islam.
Yeah, I think all communities definitely learn from each other, because whenever there's a difference, you kind of compare yourselves to each other, and then whatever's in the middle is really interesting to see and learn from.
Possibly, yeah. I think it's one of the biggest religions in the world, so possibly.
No, they're doing a good job. They're doing a good job.
Have positive aspects, and they should all be shared and help each other out.
And do you think other communities around the world, do they have anything to learn from Islam?
I think to learn what it's about. It's always important to know what things are about, isn't it?
I think they can. I think you can learn from any religion, including Islam. There's plenty you can learn from all of them.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, it's always interesting to see why people live differently to yourself, and sometimes it's nice to take those own things on into your own life.
I think everybody can learn from everybody.
Religion.
Society.
Pretty dresses.
Peace.
It's quite hot.
A woman's choice to wear it or not.
That makes me think of someone who really believes in their religion, they're taking it, they're actually bringing it into their life in a way.
Religious. France.
Modesty.
Pretty.
Worship.
Allah.
Place of worship.
Really decorative. Yeah, beautiful.
Enterprise. I think they're becoming quite innovative.
Scary.
Not nice.
9/11.
Scary and kind of a really stupid, messed up worldview kind of thing.
Freedom fighters.
Disgraceful.
Yeah, yeah. That's what I think about when I think of terrorism.
Do I look like a terrorist to you?
Yeah, no.
Bigotry and misunderstanding.
Silly.
Not necessarily goes with terrorism.
George Bush.
For the right cause, possibly.
Interesting.
Probably a nice place to go.
Oil.
Exotic, actually.
Israel. My mum's from Israel.
Hot.
An unresolvable situation.
Troubled.
Bad.
EDL.
Something I don't actually understand.
Most cases harsh, but I think you can apply it to some things.